Once again, thank you for stopping in today. I'm quite impressed with the turnout. Unlike trying to do this with single divisions one at a time, I just felt that it would be better for everybody if we could just do it all at once, because in the majority of our divisions, no rules are changing from last year. So to just have a rules meeting for each division individually would have just taken up a lot of time. So I do have just general information stuff that I've jotted down, and I will tell you guys before we even get started. I've been at Penn Can, as most of you know, for 30 years. And I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that my brother or my mom or my dad or I are going to be the fix for every single problem. I know that I'm going to have a night with a rough racetrack. I know that I'm going to have a night where we have 85 yellow flags. But we're going to strive for that not being the norm. With that being said, one of the things I've written down is time restraints. And it will be my job on a Friday night to shave hours off of last year's show. I can do a lot of that by myself. I can't do all of it without help from the people at the track, whether it be the employees and or the competitors. So as we move forward and start our season, we will work on our times. On a little bit of a lighter note, one thing that I had to do this year was sign a contract with my greedy 12-year-old daughter that I'm not allowed to have phone calls after 8 o'clock at night, or she fines me $10. That's the greedy part. I also cannot quit my full-time job. If you guys do have a question of me, I may not be able to answer my phone right away, but if you would please just leave me a message or shoot me a text, I will return your phone call. There is always time to come up with an answer. I may not have the answer right then and there. I may not have the answer you want to hear, but I will give you an answer. One issue, I'm just starting from the top of my paper and working down. One issue we had last year was fighting. Believe me, I am a huge fan of watching boxing and UFC on TV, not in the pits. I love a good bar fight to watch, but that's when it's someone else's problem, not mine. I've known most of you guys for a long, long time. I know you truly don't want to fight someone. And I know that anger, I get mad at the racetrack, and I didn't just lose $2,000 worth of parts. I get it. But if we can just take that 5 seconds to think about it before it does escalate. With that being said, my father has a friend of his who is the constable for Susquehanna County. He's insured, he is bonded. He is going to help us out at the racetrack on every single Friday night this year. As many of you know, we have gotten rid of the draw-redraw system. We are back to a handicapping system for 2 reasons. One, I believe it saves time throughout the course of the year. For the second reason, as much as I like new cars showing up at the racetrack, whether I'm a fan or an official or now on the promotional team of it, I hate the fact that a guy can come once a year and start ahead of our regulars. Man, that just ate at me. Obviously, you guys have seen the pictures. We do have a new track surface down. It is down, it is spread out, it is not completely smooth yet. We have established a pretty aggressive schedule. We are starting a bit early. I do fear of a rough racetrack. So we will do everything in our power to not have that. But it is a brand new surface, and it is spring in Susquehanna County. I wrote down some little things as I'm going. And you guys as a group are really, really good about this. When we first decided to do this, one of the things I told my parents was that we had 4 things amongst many others that absolutely positively had to be done. A new surface and new bleachers were 2 of the big physical things. The 2 other things, and I'm telling you there's a list of 50, but the 2 other big things was A, reinstating people's trust in Penn Can, and B, making people want to come back to and stay at Penn Can. And again, we can only take that so far. And you guys know as well as I do, the one shiny part about a racetrack is you can be closer to those race cars than any other sport can be, which seems weird because a race car run you over, it'll hurt. Football player probably isn't going to kill you. Race car will. But we get to be up close and personal with every single thing. So as drivers, you know, the simple handshake to a fan, the autograph and stuff like that, to make people want to come back, to make some 12-year-old kid drag his parents to the racetrack so they bring their wallet. I can't ask anyone to not use Facebook or social media. All I ask is that you please afford one of us the opportunity to take care of your grievance before it hits social media. If you give me that opportunity and it falls on deaf ears, tear me up. But please allow me the chance before you tear us up. That is not the way to get people to come back to the racetrack. As you guys may have seen on the table there, we already have a street stock series in place. We are working towards other series for both the 600s and the modifieds and the pure stocks right now. I can't do everything at once. As we continue, we are going to work on that other stuff. In the corners, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 have been placed concrete blocks inside the whole entire racetrack. When we're done today, that is one of the few things I am going to ask for input on. Myself, I don't like them. Again, I don't buy race car parts, but I do see, well, Brandon Clapton hits it once a week.
Come on now, put it twice.
Twice a week. But I do see it doesn't allow an escape route. It just closes the track off. I mean, you only have one chance, it has to go high. If there's a car on the outside of you, now you have 0 chance. So we will bring that up when we're done here. Pit parking, I believe we have all figured out now. The bigger shows that we put up, we don't have an exact payout for them yet, and we will do the same things we did for King of the Can 2 years ago. We will do lap money to make it a little more incentive for you guys. Along with the time shaving, I'm just going through the simple stuff that I wrote down. I've said this in my drivers' meetings before. If we start our night for practice at 7 o'clock, and all of us, employees and drivers, if we hustle, we don't ever have to hurry. And for as stupid as that sounds, that is the absolute truth. As long as we're not lollygagging, we never ever have to hurry through our show. Then we can get both you guys and fans out of there. Our tech inspection this year, we've added more guys on. We have Jim, who has been there. Mike Barucki will be there to help as well. Jim is off today cutting down Christmas trees. Andy Brigham is going to help us, and Nick Mady is going to help us. We have to discuss, again, when I'm done with my list, there may be questions, and we'll discuss them, but one of the things is cars, or divisions rather, with less than 10 cars. I just told my wife on the way over here, I was complaining about last year, and I said I'm just getting it out of my system now because I don't want to bring it up here today, but there are some things that have to. 5 cars in a class, running a heat and a feature. I know you guys pay your money to get in the pits, but we will give you a place to race, but you also have to support that place to race. And 5 cars is not support. That is a couple loyal guys that still want to continue to race, and I do not want to punish them, but we also have to take care of the fans as well. So that is something we have to look forward to in the future. We are going to start a program again this year like they used to do at racetracks a long time ago, and there'll be photos in there, there'll be stories on drivers, there'll be things to do the most popular driver award in there. Stuff that I really like to check out when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, this sport was insane. And now it's just all of a whole room full of people that can't go without this sport. It's not the average fan anymore. And we have to bring the average fan back. And simple things like that may bring them back. Most of you guys have been around for bike night. And again, time. There might be a time a couple weeks before bike night that maybe we knock $5 or $10 off a certain division when they pay to get in the pits if they agree to only run heat races that night. You know, and if so, that'll open up our hour-and-a-half intermission that we give bikes away. It's a pretty good problem to have when you're giving away 200 bikes, but the guy that's been sitting there since 1954 in the bleachers, he doesn't see why we give away bikes. And those guys, they get mad about it, and I've heard their grumblings. Same thing with fireworks. We want to put on a good show with the fireworks. And to be completely honest, the last 2 years, the fireworks have been absolutely incredible. But they take a long time. And we might do the same thing that night. So we can continue to strive to get people out of there at 11 or 11:30. We have many improvements that we're working on. Not every single one of them will be done by opening night. The surface will be done, the bleachers will be done. If my dad would stop complaining that it's snowing too hard and get up there and put more bleachers in.
Still burn.
But he whines about being up there by himself. Whatever. But, so as the season progresses, we'll get more and more stuff done. You know, Matt Hayes sitting back here in the middle of this table, he's been a huge help all fall. But man, oh man, he's a critic. Every time he turned his head, he's like, hey, you better fix that. Hey, you better fix that. So I got a whole long list of stuff to fix. Thanks, Matt. Payouts will kind of be the same as the last few years. As soon as Tech says we're good, we'll run the pay envelopes down to the window. If you're the third feature and your payouts were good, you don't have to wait till the end of the night to get paid. And as we've said on Facebook and on the Penn Can webpage and all that stuff, they will be in cash. That is not to be insulting. That is to show people that that is one way to regain people's trust. They don't have to worry about it. They will see my mom's smiling face at the end of the night. She will be the one handing out money. She gives you your envelope and you were owed $175. You open it up, you count it. There's $175 in there. Nobody has to be surprised on Wednesday. You are good to go. Then you can stop at one of our sponsors, the Pump and Pantry, and buy something cold to drink and delicious to eat for your ride home. One of the series that we've worked on will be the 600 series with Brock. We are giving the 600s 2 nights off this year so they can go to Afton. It's kind of the same deal as we've done with the street stocks. It was very easy. It was very simple to do. It was literally a phone call. I will give up the street stocks 1 night this year. He will give up the street stocks 1 night this year. The 3rd race will be King of the Can weekend. The 4th race will be the Super Nationals at Afton. It made it really easy, and it's something for the guys. We'll do a little mini point fund for the street stocks. Brock will have, his 600 series. When it's Afton's turn to run, because they're a Friday night track, we will give the 600s the night off. Both Brock and I will put up a bonus if you win his series and the Penn Can Track Championship. You will get a bonus on top of the already posted awards for being the champion. It'll be right now $200 more. Track point fund. I cannot stand up here and make empty promises. I cannot do it. I also, being it's our first year, cannot stand up here and tell you that I can pay the same amount of money as other tracks can. They have about a 25-year head start on us. They are very well seated in what they do. I can tell you that for every division that races points at Penn Can, as of this minute right now, without selling a ticket, without added sponsorship, without selling a 50-50, we can do payouts for every division for the top 10 equal to a regular feature. That is right now. I will be very transparent every single week with every dollar we break in from a 50-50. And I don't even need to tell you. You can just hear, hey, the 50-50 is $425. That means someone's walking out of there with $425 and $425 more goes in the point fund. If there's ever a question, ask me. I will tell you. I would love to have the same point fund as every other track here. But we just simply, I would much rather tell you guys right now the modified's going to make $1,100, and then when it comes to the point season, when it comes to next year's banquet, I give you $2,100. I would much rather do that than tell you I'm giving you $2,100 and at the banquet you get $1,100. I would much rather do that. And all that any of us can be with you guys is honest. That is all that we can do. I will tell you again, all of us are rookies at this year. My brother Sam has flagged the tracks. I have flagged and been the race director. My dad, he's probably forgot more about this sport than I'll ever know. None of us have ever taken this on. I had a chance to go with Hoosier. I did not go with Hoosier, and I didn't do it for 2 reasons. One, I felt very comfortable with American Racer. 2, I've seen you guys spend enough money. I didn't know how much more it would cost you. I didn't know if, Tommy Two-Tone had 18 American Racers already set aside for next year. I didn't know. But if you had 2 set aside for next year, I didn't want to have you eat those tires. That is the biggest reason. It would have made our point fund easier. It probably would have made our season easier. But I was not going to do that to you guys. 2 other things before I take questions, whether they're for me or for my dad or for Sam or Joanne. One is, if you guys want to stop up and see Brock, he has all the information for the all-out racing series for the 600s. And if you want to stop up and see Sue, she is right next to this handsome fellow with the black eye. It's because they don't listen.
Does now.
He was only told once. If he was told twice, it'd be both eyes that were black.
You should see the other guy.
Yeah. These guys are the responsible party for the banquet we're having on the 25th. There is no possible way. It was never even a thought in my head. And Joe is the one who thought it up. I don't know how long it's been since Sue has even been to Penn Can. And she has dove in with both feet. This whole entire thing is these guys. And it's going to be here. It's going to be on the 25th. If you are one of the guys that were on that list, if you think you are, maybe you're not, just please come up and see Sue. When this is all over, she can get you down. Make sure you have the tickets that you want so that on the day of the banquet you can come here and get your tickets from her. And we can have a count for that. And yes, admission is free. My wife Fran will be doing the photography again this year. Apparently, and she's doing headshots over there today. And we will have the photo booth. She'll do it in the pits again this year. And Nettie's daughter has volunteered or been hired to sell the tickets up in the grandstands. We only had one person up there one time last year. We weren't really prepared to do that. This year we'll have more. Dad, do you have anything?
Just a few things, but
This is going to take a while.
Jared, one thing, after January 4th, after I've talked to all the drivers, if there's any spots left, that's what it says. It'll be
Okay.
first come, first serve, up to our amount of people.
All right. For those of you guys that didn't hear that, the cutoff will be January 4th
For the drivers.
for the drivers. After that, if there's not someone on the list who wants to come, then they'll start handing out tickets to those guys. But for the guys that are being celebrated that night, you are first come, first serve until January 4th.
we only got so much we can take.
Right. We are limited to 200 people here, and I think that's 165 tickets for drivers, crew, family, and stuff like that. So just please come up and see her when this thing is over today.
I don't want to.
All right.
One thing that I think you've probably all seen it on the website, that we put 137 loads of clay on the track at 28 ton a load. That's a lot of clay. So I just want people to bear with us for a while. We'll do everything even before practice night to get this track in shape. If it's not perfect, give us a little bit of time, but we will have it done. There's so many little things that has happened that we have to be really thankful for our sponsors. Pumpkin Pantry has been a big help. Pine Line has been a huge help. And the list goes on and on. Sunoco and whatever. We're really looking for a huge success this weekend. Not necessarily for us, but for you guys. You know, anything that's subject to change, we might want to throw in some extra added stuff for the racers to allow them to make them more money. And the reason we went with the American Racer Tire and we put all that clay on the track, I know we'll make less money by selling, the tires, but in the long run, hopefully with all this clay, you guys are going to extend the life of your right rear or whatever, And, well, there's so much stuff I can't hardly remember to say at all, but Gary pretty well covered everything. And again, we're going to be here for quite a while. If anybody's got a question, come up to us and ask me. And the bleachers, I have taken down 5 complete sections of bleachers, gone. One of them I was so mad I burned it. And so hopefully we can get this remedied. But I also had 3 sections of aluminum bleachers. And at the last minute, Friday, the guy backed out on the deal. So I don't know if I can put it back together or somehow or whatever, but that would have been a big deal too, to the fans, But Joanne, you have anything?
Do you sell pit memberships? you have memberships or not?
No,
No.
no, no. One thing we're gonna do for next year, last year we had the driver raffle to where if you were picked, you and 4 guys got in free the next week. We're gonna change it up a bit. What we're gonna do is, at the end of the year, if you have perfect attendance, and we'll know that by the points, at King of the Can, every name will go into a hat. Whatever name is pulled, that driver and 2 crew members that he chooses will get in free the following year. So you're gonna get 3 season passes. If for some reason you're not gonna continue to race, you can transfer it, so it's not gonna go to waste. Your efforts won't go to waste. But you have to let me know who is gonna get it transferred to. So to be fair for everybody, that will go by perfect attendance. Just for the fact of, we're gonna save time at registration and while we're racing, rather than pull a name out of a hat every week. So we're gonna continue just a different way.
With those guys talking just then, it reminded me of 2 things that I forgot about, even though I wrote everything down. When you do come to the pits to sign in, our windows will be a little different this year. There will be one for 4 cylinders, one for factory stocks, one for street stocks, one for every division that we have. That way I don't have to go through and try to decipher who is who at the end of the night when we're trying to do books, so that I can at least have some sort of idea of the divisions that are making it, for lack of a better term, worthwhile to continue running at Penn Can. The other thing I forgot about, Chris, I don't mean to put you on the spot, generally, but if there is enough interest, Chris, if I say anything wrong, please correct me. If there is enough interest, we will run a series with Thunder Mountain, even though they're on Hoosiers and we're on American Racers. We will run a series for the modifieds. Chris, the magic number was going to be 7.
Yep.
7 modifieds that are willing to compete at both tracks. That would make it worthwhile for the sponsor to put up a point fund. And then both Penn Can and Thunder Mountain would add to the whatever the sponsor pays to make it a pretty decent point fund. So that's just something to think about. And if you could, you know, Chris is on Facebook, I'm on Facebook. Most of you guys have my phone number.
It's like
Just-
$2,500.
What's that?
It's like a $2,500 bonus to a guy that can run both.
$2,500 to a guy that can run both. And that's without Penn Can or Thunder helping to kick in. So if there's enough interest, but please just let us know, either me or Chris or Thunder Mountain, so that way then Chris could reach out to the sponsor and we could continue to move forward with this. Because of DOT tires, I can also do the Pure Stock Challenge the same way we've done it with Athens with the street stocks. I can do it with Thunder Mountain on the Pure Stocks, and that would make it easy for everyone. So I just have one other thing written down here. Yes, I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but Brock just wrote this down. When I first started flagging at Penn Can, it was for Alan Reed. I thought Alan Reed did an awesome job when they were at Penn Can. And they did things that kind of went by the wayside, one of which was the hot summer night shows, where we're going to bring them back. It'll be 3 divisions on Friday nights, or on Tuesday nights. The following Friday, we'll give the modifieds off so they don't have 3 races in 7 days. But the 21st of July will be one of them. It's going to be the Joe Buchek race, the Rainey Decker Memorial, and the Northeast Small Car Classic. They'll be the 3 divisions, and the Small Car Classic will be the 600s. But everything else will be on our schedule. We don't have all payouts finished off yet. We don't have all of our lap money finished off yet. But that is stuff that we are working on in the next coming weeks, and it will all be posted. Does anyone have any questions?
The two shows, Syracuse and.
Oh, and we will be doing both the car show in Wilkes-Barre and the one in Scranton. That's what I was supposed to say.
Syracuse.
Or Syracuse, yeah. That's what I was supposed to say?
Yeah.
Close,
Okay.
close.
All right, I got
It
it.
was an asset lease.
That's pretty close.
Close.
Are there any questions?
Yeah,
Yes.
how about the weights for the modifieds? Are we gonna go back to the big block, small block weights, 2,500, 2,400? I mean, I had talked to you previously about that, and you said that we were gonna go, every other track does that. He changed that to a 2,400 open rules. Like, how does those guys in small blocks compete?
Yeah, we got a big small block.
Yeah, okay.
Malcolm's back there laughing because he won all the races. Mike, I can't answer that right now, but when I get done from being in front of everyone, I'll come back there with you guys and we'll figure it out. And I'll bring Brucey with me, and we'll come back there and we'll figure something out. Right now, and Mike, to be honest with you, I was not prepared to answer that question. I haven't even thought about it. I completely forgot about that question. It does make sense, yes.
Every other track, that's how it is. I mean, I know he changed that last year, but even up to last year, it was always that way, I think.
Right. Why did it get changed?
Because I think he thought it was gonna bring more cars in.
It went basically to a per day out.
Yeah.
5 miles, 2,400. Everybody's 2,400.
All right, well, when we get done here, I'll come back with you guys, and we'll get something figured out.
It's because he wanted to match Brett Davis. That's why he.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
Any other questions? Yes.
Have you ever, we go around to different tracks, and I have no idea the car number and the driver and everything, and I thought, maybe we could generate more attendance if you had some kind of a scandal sheet that you could put out when you sell the tickets, so that newcomers to the sport, or newcomers to the track would be able to sort out who's who out on the track.
I mean, that program.
Actually, my wife just downloaded a new program last night where when we do the program, it won't be every driver every week, but we can put in their birth date, their hometown, their sponsor, their crewman's,
The car number.
the car number, a picture of them in the car.
The point stand.
Yep, yep,
Okay, that's what I was
yep.
after, yeah.
It'll be just like a baseball trading card.
I go to a sprint track, I have no idea what's
Yep.
going on out there.
It'll be like a baseball trading card, similar to that. And it'll be in the program each week, spotlighting different drivers. Hopefully one for each division as we go.
The hot summer night races, are they points races? I think I saw something about show-up points,
50 show up.
They will not be regular points races, no.
but there is show-up.
Yes.
Yes. Anything? Yes.
Now, with how we always say the children are the future,
Yeah.
I see Afton does it a lot with the kids.
The price to get in the pits?
Yes.
We have not got our answer on that. I told you I would ask, and we have not got our answer from our insurance company yet on that.
I was just.
Yep, that is a question I did bring up, but I haven't got the answer from them yet.
And it's honestly affordability.
Yeah.
Because the lower the age.
Anybody else with anything?
the
Wait a
dumber.
minute.
So we're trying
To answer your question a little bit more, I would like to, on some of the modified races, go back to what we did years ago. I'll line them up on the front street, on the front stretch, drivers out of the cars, introduction of drivers, so you'll have an idea, a face to a car. And I think that, you know, the bond between the fans and the driver, I think that's huge. So, and that starts with opening night, because that's extra distance, it's more money, so on and so forth. So,
Yeah, Ryan.
Earlier you mentioned about saving time and running only, giving a discount to a certain class. And run only each, do you mean just run only features?
Yes. You knew what I meant, smart ass.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Some of the things from last year will be status quo. I will be in the tower. My little brother Sam will be back in the flagger stand from 2 years ago. My dad had already said earlier that he will work Saturday through Friday morning. He wants nothing to do with Friday night's activities. So it will basically be, I saw Bob walk in here. Bob will be in turn 4. DJ Dave will be one of the corner flaggers again. Sam will be in the flagger stand. I'll be in the tower. And, you know, then we'll have our pit stewards and all of that stuff.
When you ask around for questions, is that talk about rules at that point? Or are you going around and talk about rules?
I will answer any question that I can. I was hoping that Jim could be here today, but
Well, write it down or whatever you got.
I can do that as well. I got my little secretary right here.
Street stocks, about 6 years ago at Penn Can, a little rule popped up that you could build a tube frame car from the horns back on a subframe car. Well, in that rule, they stated that if you did, you had to put 150 pounds of neutral weight on the right side of the car. That's since disappeared. And then they adopted Outlaw's rules. Outlaw's rules reads the same way, minus the weight. It's the latest craze to build that car or buy that car from the manufacturer that's building it. That weight needs to come back. It doesn't necessarily have to be 150 pounds, but it needs to be 100. And that 100 also needs to be established for the new motor rule that came with the Outlaw package with the 400 small block. If you come in Penn Can or any other racetrack with that tube frame car or 400 small block and weigh the same weight as the rest of the guys, they're outgunned. So that car or that motor or the combination of both has to have that 100 pounds neutral weight on the right side of the car.
All right.
That tube frame car cuts the whole right side of the car off a stock chassis.
Okay.
Matt, can you come see me and I'll get it all written down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Gary?
Yes.
Two things, Gary. You mentioned earlier about the concrete barriers.
Yes.
I raced Hallstead Speedway for 30 years. One of the biggest problems they did with Hallstead is they put the Jersey barriers on the inside of the corners. The racing is terrible. The car gets bottled up. There's nowhere for the cars to go. There's nowhere to even move a car off the racing surface, and it wrecks a ton of equipment. So I hope you consider that.
Yes.
And
I second that.
It all comes back to the efficiency that you talked about at the beginning. I talked to you about this
Yes.
fall. There's no, if those guys are having problems with it, it's an equipment issue, they're tearing up stuff. But then in your standpoint as a businessman, you've created so much inefficiency by getting the wrecks off the track. When these guys could have darted and dodged, and a lot of cars could have got away from it, so your 2 or 3 man record crew didn't have to be tied up for an hour.
Right.
To clean up.
I agree.
Yeah, sure, highlight voice.
They are probably going to be gone.
Yes.
They might not all be gone by opening night because we may be dealing with a wet surface and can't drive in there, but they are going away.
I had the opportunity this summer to come to Penn Can for the first time. I have a wingless sprint car, crate powered, and we had a fantastic time. We liked the surface, we liked racing there. We got a lot of our guys organized, and I just wanted to let you guys know, Hallstead Speedway has gone to an every other week format for our cars. And the thought was, with the cars that we have, and we've had 12 to 15 cars at Hallstead at times, and the field that has in the past, because of the way the track is promoted, has dwindled to a small field. They went to an every other week format, and they were hoping to get an every other week format at your facility.
Well, when this is all over, if you guys and your ugly sister would come up here and see my dad, we'll get something hashed out.
There's a bunch of us here.
While we got everybody together, I hate those concrete blocks. But what I wanted to do was put it to the whole group, majority rules. Who wants to get rid of them?
Well, that was it.
It's going to be pretty close, vote.
Yeah, done deal. We were at the sprint car banquet 2 weeks ago, and I put it to those guys the same way, and they wanted to get rid of it. So they're gone.
If you move them, at least you can go fishing. If you know, fishing and racing.
Yeah.
And the second is, are you gonna get 2 laps before flags?
Two of the rules that we have to tighten up on, in a heat race, I will not give 2 laps for a flat tire. In a feature, I will. Another rule that every single week changes my opinion on it. I know, I don't care how good of a race car you have, I don't care how much money you spend. Nothing can replace seat time. I like guys getting their laps so they can afford to get, so they can go out there and get better. But I hate making a show take too long. We will implement the 3 spin out rule again. It is nothing personal. It is nothing against anyone. But if you spin 3 times in the same race, you are going to the pits. I do have Nick Petriliak up here. He wants to say some things about the Speed Sports Showcase that's coming up. So hold on.
Here, you spoke about fighting.
Yes.
Well, I know from a flagger family that you guys are, half of those, if not 3/4 of those fights would be prevented if it was taken care of at a racetrack level. Before it enters the pits. If there's a car on the racetrack that's damaging other people's equipment, and it's constantly getting overlooked by the flagger, it's gonna turn into a fight.
I agree.
No matter what racetrack it's at, don't matter how many cops are standing in front of you.
I agree.
If you tear up my shit, and it happened on the racetrack, and it didn't get penalized on the racetrack, then it's gonna boil
Agree.
over. Sooner
We have to
or
do
later.
our jobs as well.
Sooner or later, it's gonna boil over.
Yep, there is no doubt about that. So, before I take another question, here's Nick real quick.
Hello. All right, thanks, Gary. We are going into our 3rd year of Speed Sports Showcase. We'll be back in the Sunshine Plaza, which is just outside of Wilkes-Barre. We're going to do a 3-day event coming up in 2020. And I guess what I'm looking to say is, well, I mean, we're going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Move-in date will be Thursday, and most of the day Friday until the show opens up. I guess what I want to come up here and stress to everyone is I can't stress enough how important it is for us to grow as a racing community. Not only Penn Can, but Thunder Mountain, Skyline, 5 Mile Point, everywhere, Big Diamond. That this is, this is our chance to get out there. You don't have to bring a brand new car there. It can be something that's been raced. We do awards for that. This is the chance to get out there, show off your car, get people in there, on a March day. You come inside, you bullshit around, you see everyone, and it's a good way to get everyone back involved in the community. Like on a regular Friday night, that you have your typical people that go to the racetrack. They're going to be there no matter what. You get them down to the car show, get them there, see the cars. I don't know, maybe all of a sudden they catch on to something they like about it, and next thing you know, we got the ball rolling on that. That's our hope with everything we do with the car show. I hope that we can get everyone involved. We can get it to grow the speedway and the surrounding tracks, and have a good time. I have booth registration forms and car forms if anyone wants to get them. And like I said, I hope that we can get as many of us here as we possibly could. All right, that's all.
Thanks, Nick.
Gary. On that note.
If they want to have a shower next time.
No, because I want to have an autograph session.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm scheduled for Saturday.
Okay. We are going to get a booth at Nick's car show at the Speedway. And Joanne wants to do Saturday an autograph session at our booth. So anybody that's interested in doing that, just please come up and see her, and we'll get that get your name put on the list so we don't get all bottlenecked down there on Saturday. Okay. And the 600 series also has one on there. Yes.
What about the 3 spin rule? What if somebody dumps you 3 times? Is it track's discretion, or is it
If
3
you
spins by yourself?
get spun out,
By yourself.
right? It's by yourself stuff.
So
Yes.
what if you're tangled up with somebody? What if somebody is intentionally dumping
Your
you 3 times
spins,
to get you out?
No, that won't happen. Your 3 spins are. No, I'm saying that could happen.
Well,
That
that's what
part.
I'm saying. I mean, if somebody's going to dump you, they're going to dump you.
I mean, if you're the guy that dumped him, then 2 laps later, you're the guy that spun out, and then 2 laps later, you spun out again, then those 3 are on you. But if you got turned, and then you spun, and then you had a flat, only 2 are on you.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so
Yep.
there is a little track discretion in there.
Correct.
Just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Hey Gary, something quick, I know that, me and Sheldon, we had a situation last year, and it's well known what happened on pit road. And the problem was, there was nothing there for us to grab. Don't spin.
This needs to be heard.
To take care of it. And I think that, if we put some fire extinguishers, or not us, but you guys, put some fire extinguishers around and make it known through the pits where these are,
Yes.
so that if there's an incident that happens, they can be grabbed and we can get there and help this person, because that was the most frightening thing I've ever seen at a racetrack.
Terrifying, and we had no idea where to
Literally,
grab anything.
it was a man of fire standing up out of his car. Sheldon burnt himself. I just about caught myself on fire trying to jump onto the car to help him out. It was hot.
I agree with you 100%. My dad is actually looking into a deal with a fire extinguisher place, and not to put words in anyone's mouth, but when I was down at the benefit for Little Brucey last week, Alan Rudelovich had a great idea, and it doesn't cost that much money. Not only everyone putting an extinguisher in their hauler, but if we could come up with a way that they were all mounted in the same place.
On the left-hand side of the trailer, this way it's on the dirt shelves.
Okay?
The back left-hand of the trailer.
So that way, I mean, maybe if it's, if it's Brock pulling in to his own pits and he's on fire and Brandon's walking by, he'll know where in Brock's hauler to get an extinguisher from. And I guess, we can't have too many. But yeah, we are working on a deal for extra fire extinguishers right now. And Alan brought that up a week ago, and that's a great idea.
The only problem with that is not everybody has a close trailer.
Correct. Correct. But
Every guy that's there should have a fire extinguisher.
Agreed.
On the tail of their trailer, it doesn't cost a lot of money for those guys. We can save some, like that incident happened last year, the safety question involved. Nobody wants to see anybody go through that. The fire bottles now on the modifieds for dirt are mandatory this year. I know a couple guys I spoke to last week are going to put them in our cars this year. So anybody can even do that. I think they're kind of costly. I got the information on from Bitnell the other day. There's 3 different ones that they have. You just got to watch which one you buy, because it does go off. You have to pay hazmat, shipping to get it back, to get it filled, and it's a little more costly. I think the SP1 is the one Bitnell sells. It's a refill, and it's kind of cheap, and you don't ship it back with hazmat endorsement on it. When I talked to Ryan Susi up there this week about it. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to have one in my department. I'm a small guy, but if you flip over and something happens, it's going to be tough to get somebody out of the car, especially if it's on fire. What's that? Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah, so, it's just something we should look into. I know Dirk, my man, where this year, right, Chris? Man, but for small blocks and modified and sportsmen, everybody's got to have them. Yeah.
We have one of our new street style. It's automatic. It's automatic or manual. It's got temperature balls on it. It's something to look into for these. Hey, we used to run the same system 20 years ago.
right?
It was a manual system. It's disappeared to the wayside so we can get faster.
It's crazy how that works.
I mean, seriously, I remember being a kid. Harry Martin Jr. had one of the street styles.
Are there any other questions? Guys, I can't, you guys all know I like racing. I like racing a real lot. I am so excited for this coming season on a couple different levels. I get to go on Friday night to my home track and continue to watch racing. I get to work with my little brother again. I get to work with my dad. You know, we live a block from one another. And I don't get to see him every day or talk to him on the phone every day. That I do on purpose, because I can't stand talking to him on the phone, because he's so freaking hard of hearing. Hey Dad, how are you? We're going to have chicken and biscuits. All right. But that was not what I asked. But I get to work with my dad again. My very first ever flagging job was at the old Shangri-La Speedway. And he was the head flagger. I was the turn one flagger. He retired. I became the assistant flagger, then eventually the head flagger. I was 3 years old. I wanted to be on that flagger stand so bad I could taste it. Every single one of my friends was on that flagger stand. I never stepped foot on it until I was 21 years old at Shangri-La Speedway. But I get to work with him. I get to work with my mom. My mom is so excited about this. Not to put a damper on anything. My mom was down in Philly over the weekend. She really wanted to be here today. She wiped out in the shower at my other brother's house and apparently decided not to use her hands. She broke her fall with her face. So she's a little busted up. She had to go to the hospital down there in Philly. But she'll probably heal quicker than Buchek will. No, she's tougher.
She's not 80 years old.
Pretty close. So, but I'm looking forward to this season very, very much. I'm looking forward to the changes. I'm looking forward to the guys that have moved up a division. I'm looking forward to the guys who are building new cars and staying in the same division. I'm looking forward to every single bit of this. I'm more excited about this than any season I have ever approached before. And I'm telling you guys, when I'm driving out 171 on a Friday night getting ready to go there, I feel like I'm going to throw up every single week. If I didn't feel like that, I wouldn't want to be there anymore. And I'm so looking forward to this. We are going to add on more 50-50 people so we can hopefully sell more tickets. Some fans are going to be happier. You guys are going to be happier at the end of the year. And like I said before, guys, I promise you that one of us, whether it's Sam, my mom, Joanne, my dad, or me, we will get an answer for any question you have during the season. It may not be right at that very second. It may not be the answer you want to hear, but we will get an answer for you. We will work very diligently for you guys. We want this to be a success. If there's nothing else, guys, please feel free. Yes, Nate, go ahead.
I got one. I mean, Gary, ultimately, I'd like to, as far as the rules go, I know you said you don't want to change anything, but ultimately, I'd really like to make factory stouts factory again, or more factory again. And I think for now, I know you don't want to change anything. I know people have their cars built, but I thought just a couple simple compromises, maybe up the minimum weight so these guys that have everything gutted out of their cars, would be more on par with, the more factory.
I am all for that. I remember 10 years ago when Thunder Mountain had the Thunderdog class. On a Tuesday night when everybody had to work on Wednesdays, he'd run a race and have 30 of them. I would love to get back to that. I am more than just an average fan, but I've also been in the business long enough, with no offense to your division, you guys help pay for the other classes' purses when you have a lot of cars there. So yes, as the new promoter, I would love to see you guys have 20 cars a night. It would help the other divisions, it would help us. The reason we didn't do stuff like that this year is because we have so much other stuff to do that has been neglected over the years that we couldn't take on everything. All I could do was take on the stuff that was at the forefront. But that is something that we will sit down as a group as the season progresses on that basis alone to get more people to go racing. And that would be, I agree with you 100%, Nate. I certainly do. But yes, that is something we can do, and it may even be something we can do here in the beginning of the season. We can sit down as a group. Reach out to a few of the Pure Stock guys. If they want to have a sit down, we'll do it. We'll go to McDonald's. We'll have Towner buy our dinner, and we'll sit down. Oh, she's buying? Okay. Yes, go ahead, Josh.
It doesn't matter to me either way. I'm going to stay with Pumpcast. I know when I called around for King of the Can,
weekend like that we're gonna have, there's 5 or 6 guys that will come to Penn Can, their cars are equal to ours, it don't matter if they're on race fuel or not. I think it should be, I mean, if the more race fuel you sell, track sells, the more that's gonna go to someone.
Sure.
Well, I think it should be up to, I mean, they know, a lot of those factory stock guys know, I run pump gas, and I could run for Dutch, all the guys that run race fuel. So if somebody wants to run pump gas, race fuel, in our division, that should be, if they want to spend $50 for one night racing, so be it. I think that should be opened up, because I think it brings, it might not bring in 10 more cars, but if it brings in 2 more cars, that's more than
All right.
they have now.
All right.
Gary, to touch on a little bit what Josh was saying, I think I would personally feel comfortable allowing someone to run with their track rules 2 or 3 times a year. So they're
Okay.
not really like, destroying the point.
So like our Tuesday night show, King of the Can
Or
weekend.
even whatever, just a regular couple Friday nights if they want, but limited so that they're not.
Okay.
So if they run pump gas at their track and they want to come run, if they let the hill or whoever gets rained out on a Friday night.
Okay,
and they
agreed.
want to come run, I'm okay with that a few nights.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you both. I appreciate
Definitely a
that.
limit.
Yeah, but
Definitely a limit.
Yeah, have a limit.
Absolutely.
Understood.
But I'm okay for opening up, some big shows. I'd like to get.
Okay. All right.
Big shows, King of the Can.
Yeah, Durso.